A life of service, the early years and wartime heroism of George H.W. Bush. George Herbert Walker Bush, the 41st President of the United States, lived a life deeply intertwined with the narrative of the American century. Born into privilege in Milton, Massachusetts on June 12, 1924, young George's life was shaped by the values of service and duty. His father, Prescott Bush, was a successful banker who later became a U.S. Senator. This background instilled in George a strong sense of civic responsibility from a very young age. World War II erupted as Bush came of age. At 18, he enlisted in the Navy, eager to serve his country. He became a decorated aviator, flying torpedo bombers off aircraft carriers in the Pacific Theater. On one mission, his plane was shot down. Bush bravely maintained control, completing his attack before bailing out over the ocean. He was rescued by a submarine, forever marked by the experience. This brush with mortality solidified Bush's character. He returned home a hero, his commitment to country unwavering. The war had tested him, revealing depths of courage and resilience that would define his life. These experiences laid the foundation for a remarkable journey from war hero to statesman. Entering the arena, from Texas oilman to public servant. After the war, George H.W. Bush married Barbara Pierce in 1945. They had 6 children. Bush moved to Texas and entered the oil business. His success in oil led him to politics. Bush's political career began in 1964. He won a House seat in 1966. Bush served 2 terms in Congress. Nixon appointed him UN ambassador in 1971. This marked his entry onto the world stage. He later chaired the Republican National Committee. Ford appointed him chief of the U.S. Liaison Office in China. Bush's diplomatic skills were invaluable. He returned with a deep understanding of China. The right hand of power, vice presidency, and the path to the Oval Office. In 1980, Ronald Reagan chose George H.W. Bush as his running mate. Reagan and Bush won a decisive victory. Bush served as a loyal and effective vice president for 8 years. He was a trusted advisor to Reagan, playing a key role in shaping domestic and foreign policy. During his time as vice president, Bush gained valuable experience in foreign policy. He traveled extensively, representing the United States with dignity and grace. He built strong relationships with world leaders, laying the groundwork for his own presidency. In 1988, Bush ran for president, promising to continue Reagan's legacy of peace and prosperity. He won a solid victory over Democratic nominee Michael Dukakis. George H.W. Bush was inaugurated as the 41st President of the United States on January 20, 1989. Section 4. The Presidency of George H.W. Bush, a steady hand on the global stage. President Bush's time in office was marked by significant events on the world stage. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 signaled the end of the Cold War. Bush played a crucial role in managing this peaceful transition, working closely with Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev. In 1990, Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait. President Bush assembled a broad international coalition and launched Operation Desert Storm to liberate Kuwait. The operation was a success, demonstrating American military might and resolve. Domestically, President Bush signed the Americans with Disabilities Act into law in 1990. This landmark legislation prohibited discrimination against people with disabilities. It was a significant achievement for civil rights. Despite his foreign policy successes, President Bush faced economic challenges at home. A recession gripped the nation, and he faced criticism for his handling of the economy. In 1992, he lost his re-election bid to Bill Clinton. Section 5. The Elder Statesman, Post-Presidency, Legacy, and a Life Well Lived. After leaving office, George H.W. Bush remained active in public life. He and Barbara founded the George and Barbara Bush Foundation to promote literacy and volunteerism. He formed a close friendship with Bill Clinton, and they worked together on humanitarian efforts. In 2000, his son, George W. Bush, was elected president. This marked only the second time in American history that a father and son had both served as president. George H.W. Bush became known as a respected elder statesman, offering his wisdom and experience to leaders around the world. George H.W. Bush passed away on November 30, 2018, at the age of 94. He left behind a legacy of service, integrity, and leadership. He is remembered as a president who navigated a tumultuous period in history with grace and resolve. His commitment to bipartisanship, His dedication to public service and his unwavering belief in the promise of America continue to inspire.